Good afternoon, children. I was teaching you chapter 11 verbs from your grammar book. So turn to page number 53. Today we will complete the remaining part from there. So the first thing today we will do is uses of verbs. So first use, you remember, a verb describes an action. What is action? I told you action refers to any kind of activity. So for example, go, eat, play, jump, swim, dive, talk, sing. All these are action words. Action words, you know that they talk about the activities of our subject. Okay? So the first use you have to remember that a verb describes an action. Coming to the next one, you see, they tell us how a person or thing is. So remember, a verb not only talks about action, but it also tells us about a person or about a thing. So how a person or that thing is. So first you see, we use am, is, are to talk about the present. Suppose I want to talk about a person or a thing and I want to talk it in the present tense. Okay? So you have to see these examples to understand it. So remember, Paul is 8 years old. So I'm talking about Paul. Paul is a name of a person. Okay? So Paul is 8 years old means at present Paul is 8 years old. Therefore I'm using is. Coming to the next example, India is a big country. So India is here means that I'm talking about India at present. Okay, therefore I am using is here. So always remember am, is and are used to talk about the present condition, the present tense. Okay. Number 2, we use was, were to talk about the past. So we are talking about a person or a thing, but we are talking about the past, something which has already happened. So we will use was and were. For example, the children were asleep. So one thing you have to remember, was we always use with singular and were we use with plural. So here, in the example you see, the children is plural. Therefore we are using were asleep. Okay, if it would be the child, what we would write? We would write the child was asleep. Alright, now coming to the next. They tell us what a person or thing has. So I told you, verb talks about possession. Okay, so for that we use has, have to talk about the present. So we are talking about the present tense in the present tense. So we will use has and have to show what a person or a thing has. Means what a person or a thing possesses. So for example, I have a new dress. Okay. So I am using have here. Why? Because there is only a singular subject, that is I. I have a new dress. So can you tell me when we will use has? We will use has with she, he. He has a book. She has a book. Okay. So further I'll explain you in the next page. Alright. So coming to number 2, you see, we use had to talk about the past. Okay. So for example, I had many toys when I was a baby. Alright, so what are we doing? We are using had here to talk about the verb that happened in the past. Okay, it is already in the past tense. For example, what you see, I had many toys when I was a baby. So probably that I is grown up now. So when he or she was a baby, he had many toys or she had many toys. Okay, so therefore we are using had to talk about the past tense. Now, as I told you in point number 1 here, that I'll explain you in the next page. Okay, from the next page I mean. So you can see this table properly. You are supposed to learn this table so that you can use the verbs correctly. So see, the table below will help you to use verbs correctly. So you can see the table if you see it properly. There are 3 sets made here. So one is subject, the present tense and present tense. So how you are using am, is, are, and when and where will you use has and have. So it is told here. So remember that if the subject is I, okay, so in the present tense we will use am, okay, and for using has and have we have to always use have. Alright, so with I we are going to use am if we are talking something in present tense. Again with I, if we are talking something in present tense, we will always use have. Coming to the next, you see with you, we, they. So these all are plural nouns. Okay, these are the subjects here. So with plural, as I told you, we will always use are. Okay, and coming to has and have, we will use have. Okay, we have, they have, you have, like that. Okay, coming to the next, you see he, she, it. These all are singular nouns. So we will always use is with singular nouns. Okay, so she is, he is, like that. And suppose we want to talk about present tense and we have to use has and have. So with he, she, it, we will always use has. Alright. Well, now come to the next page, page number 54. You see the use of verbs when you are using past tense. Alright. So when the subject is I, okay, and with that we will always use was. Okay, if we are talking about past tense, if we are talking about the incident, the activity, the action which is already done. So that time we have to use I was. Okay. So for past tense, we will always use had. Okay. Whatever be the subject, had is constant. Had will not change. Okay. Always remember for past tense, we will always use had. Okay. So coming to the second, you see when the subject is you, we, they. So what are these 3? These are plural nouns. So with plural nouns, we will always use were. Okay. You were, we were, they were. Alright. Now coming to the next. He, she, it. These 3 are singular nouns. So with singular nouns, we will always use was. He was, she was, it was. And as I told you, had will always remain constant. I had, you had, he had, she had, like that. Okay. Now, as I told you in the previous page, you have to learn this. Okay. This entire table, you have to learn to use your verbs correctly for present tense. Similarly, in page number 54, you have to learn this table in order to use your verbs correctly for past tense. Alright. So, after learning this, you will come to the next one. A verb could be a single word or could be made up of 2 or more words. So it is not necessary that the verb will always be a single word. It can be more than 2 or 4, 5 words like that. Let's see how it is. So the first sentence you see, Annie sang a beautiful song. So here the verb is sang. The past tense of sing is sang. Okay, so what we are doing here, we can see that the verb is a single word. Okay, so this is example of a verb which is a single word verb. Coming to the next one, the sun is shining. Now remember, is shining is my verb here. Okay, so is shining, these are 2 words. Okay, so this is an example of verb that has 2 words. Okay, now you remember another example you see, my father will come home soon. So will come, okay, here the verb is made up of 2 words. Alright, Now see, in these sentences, the words is, will are helping the main verbs. Okay, these are helping. What is it doing? It is helping the main verb. So if you see this sentence, the sun is shining. So if I tell you which is the verb, the first answer you will give me is shining, because that is the main verb here. So along with shining, what are we marking? We are marking is. Why are we doing so? Because is our helping verb. Is helping the main verb here. Okay. Similarly, in the next sentence, my father will come home soon. Here come is my main verb. So what is helping my main verb? The word will. So will is my helping verb, because will is helping my main verb. Okay. So we call them what? We call them helping verbs. They help the main verb complete its meaning. Is it clear? What is the work of helping verb? It helps the main verb to complete its meaning. Let's do the exercises. See, underline the main verb, okay, and helping verbs in the sentences. One has been done for you. So what you have to do? You have to underline both the main and helping verbs here. Okay, so the first sentence you see, the children are swimming in the pool. Okay, so here what we have marked are swimming. Swimming is my main verb. Okay, and what is my helping verb? Are. Okay, coming to number 2. I will be writing to her next week. So writing is my main verb. Will be my helping verb. So you have to mark will be writing. Okay. Number 3. Lionel Messi scored the winning goal. So which is my verb? Scored. Number 4. The Indian cricket team is touring South Africa. So is touring is my verb here. Okay. Next. The mountaineer was climbing the highest peak. So was climbing. Okay, so in all these sentences, I hope you can understand which is my main verb and which is my helping verb. Okay, so coming to number 6, you see, I will go with you to the market. So what will be your answer? Will go. You have to underline will go. Number 7, they are visiting an old age home tomorrow. So we will mark are visiting. Visiting is my main verb. And are is my helping verb. Okay, let's come to number 8. My grandfather has a wonderful collection of old coins. So here has is my verb. Okay, next, why has, can you tell me? Yes, because it shows possession. So number 9, Lord Krishna was Arjuna's charioteer in the battle of Kurukshetra. Okay, so was will be your verb here. Next, coming to number 10, you see, we were playing when it started raining. So were playing will be your answer. Playing is your main verb. Where is your helping verb? Very good. Now let's come to the next exercise. You see, the next exercise here is what? The next exercise is use will, is, was, are, were, has, had, or have as helping verbs in these sentences. So see the first one, Karan dash taking music lessons now. So we are talking about the present tense. So we will write Karan is taking music lessons now. Number 2, you are going to be late. So we are talking about the present, so we are using are after you. So you are going to be late. Coming to page number 55, number 3, the class is making a lot of noise. Why are we writing is? Because the class here is singular noun. Okay. Number 4, we dash be holding an exhibition of our paintings next week. So next week means something that is going to happen in the future. That's why we will write will. We will be holding an exhibition of our paintings next week. Coming to number 5, I hope you dash packed all your things. Okay. So here why are we writing have? Because before this we have you. So with you we are always using have. So I hope you have packed all your things. Now the next one, number 6. The boys dash having lunch when the teacher called them. So we will write the boys were having lunch when the teacher called them. Okay. Why are we using were? Because the boys is our plural. Okay. The boys plural. Plural subject, plural noun. Therefore we are using were. Okay. Next, number 7. We dash made up our minds to go out when my aunt came to see us. Okay. So we will write had here because this planning of making up our minds was done prior to my aunt's visit. Okay. So prior to aunt's visit, they made up their mind to go out. Therefore, we are using had because it is a past incident. Alright. Now let us come to number C. Now this is very interesting. Okay. This exercise you see, some verbs are missing in this story. So fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verbs to complete the story. So when we read a story, what we see? We see that most of them are in past tense. Okay. But here we have to change it according to the sentence. Okay. The form of verbs. Very interesting. I have already marked it. The tick ones are your answer. So the first you see, this dash a sweet story about a child named Rohit. So we will write this is a sweet story about a child named Rohit. Next, he dashed to learn to write with his left hand. So he dashed every day for months. So what we will write? We will write he wanted to learn to write with his left hand. So he practiced every day for months. Next, one day he found a magic pencil. It dashed a long blue pencil. So one day he found is past tense. Okay, so how we will use the verb here? We will use it in past. So it was a long blue pencil. Got it? Next, it was lying on the floor. Rohit dashed it up. Rohit picked it up. Okay, this past, picked it up. He dashed a strange feeling. He had a strange feeling, but he dashed it in his bag and dashed it to school. So what happened? He had a strange feeling, but he kept it in his bag and carried it to school. Okay. Next, in class he dashed out the pencil to write. So what we will do here? In class he took out the pencil to write. He found that. So now while choosing the verbs, you have to be very careful with the previous sentence and the sentence which is after that. Okay, there. See here, he found that. Therefore I wrote, in class he took out the pencil to write. He found that he was writing with his left hand. He felt happy and continued writing. After some time, the pencil began writing on its own. It was a magic pencil. So if you look at the last 3 blanks, you have to be very careful with the verb forms that is there in the after sentence and the before sentence. Okay. So here you see, in class he took. Because I wrote took because in the next sentence it is he found. Similarly, he was writing. Why I wrote writing? Because in the next sentence it is happy and continued writing. After some time, the pencil began writing on its own. Did you see? So we have to write the correct form of the verbs if it matches properly. Okay, then only it is correct. Alright, so I am just holding this video for a few minutes more so that you can just copy down the answers. You can take a screenshot. Okay, this is page number 55 from your grammar book. Please take a screenshot and write down the answers in your book with a pencil. Neatly you are going to do the work. Okay, so do it properly. You can take a screenshot. Okay, now come to page number 54. You see, I'm showing you the exercise once again, exercise A and B. Please take a screenshot and do the exercises properly. Okay, so this was your remaining part from the chapter 11 verbs. We have completed the chapter, okay, and we are at the end of our syllabus. Now, Monday onwards, you are going to come to school, we are going to have offline classes, and there I am going to take your revision. Okay, I'll be doing revision work with you. Okay, so children, write down all this, complete your work and submit me by tomorrow evening. Okay, this much for today's class. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.